Hello everyone and welcome to another F1 My Team episode. Today we're here for the French Grand Prix. Now before we jump into spoilers, if you haven't seen any of the previous episodes, then consider checking them out before we jump into this one, as there are spoilers ahead. And since the latest patch, things have really changed for us in this career mode in terms of the narrative. So if you want to get up to speed and see how the season has changed, go check those out. But today we're here for the French Grand Prix. You can see the weather forecast is dry. In terms of upgrades, we don't actually have anything on the car this weekend, whereas other teams have brought upgrades around us. So we're going to see if we can still compete, with the same car as the last event. However, we do have two major upgrades on the way. If they arrive, we should overtake Aston Martin and take a big step into the midfield. And that upgrade package should arrive after the next race, which I believe after this, it's the summer break. So we're going to get a big chance to get upgrades on the car, especially if we can put some more upgrades on at the end of today's episode. Now in the background you saw us take care of practice. We got a bunch of discounts added to the upgrade price, and yeah, we're now going to move into qualifying and we're going to see if we can keep up our good run of qualifying lately. We're much more competitive now since the patch. The car works better, I'm feeling more confident and things are going well. Of course, we're now on 110 AI all the time, qualifying and race in the last 3 events, and that's working well for us. So yeah, here we are then on our Q1 lap on the soft tyre, making our way through the final sector. We ran a bit wide through the triple right-hander just a moment ago, and that cost me a bit of time as we picked up some understeer on the front end. Making our way now through the final 2 corners here. Very important phase of the lap because tyres start to get hot at this point and it's easy to make a mistake or carry too much speed up to them. I know, and it's going to be a 129.798, which is not an incredible lap in terms of, our position, but it did feel pretty good except for that one mistake. You can see here, we're currently P17 with Magnussen just improving. We've got Zhou Guanyu in last place, who I'm expecting to go faster. So realistically, we're about P19 right now. So we need to improve. We're about 10th behind Paul Ricard, not even that, about half a tenth. So we're going to see if we can improve on this final attempt and hopefully save a set of tyres for Q2, as that has been a recurring theme in qualifying lately since the improvement. Here we are, starting the lap, making our way down to turn 1. Bring the car over to the right, brake as the curb reappears after that bit of asphalt, and we do miss the apex and run a bit wide, which cost us in turn 2 and on the exit as well, which is a bit of a shame. Through turn 3 and 4 and then into turn 5, trying to tackle this very tricky low speed mechanical grip section. We actually get a great exit through there and find a load of traction, and we managed to recover the lost half a tenth as we're pretty much even on the back straight. Now bring the car gradually over to the right hand side, not too much as you can get underfloor damage on the curb. Down to 4th gear, aggressive over those curbs as you want to really maximise it. Could have taken a bit more through the inside right curb. As we now get the power down, we have a bit of a screen freeze there as we plunge down into Senior, the flat out right hander. Now though, into the double rights, which is where we had a mistake last time. Nice and early on the nose. Again, we get some front understeer. Not as bad as last time, so we do still find some lap time and go faster, but it's not ideal as there was more time to find. Through the long left off camber, we find a great exit there. Nice bit of traction, and we're up by nearly 2.5 tenths as we make our way now into the final 2 corners, trying to make sure we don't ruin the lap. And now again, a nice bit of traction out there as we're up by 2.5 tenths. This is going to give us a 129.5, and that moves us into P14. So we're safe for now, but at the end of the session, once everybody else improved, unfortunately, we are out in Q1. Bit of a shame as we missed out by just under 2 tenths. Sebastian Vettel creeping through along with Magnussen in P15. Paul Ricard out with us in Q1. And worth noting, both AlphaTauris getting through comfortably. Gasly in the top 9, which is pretty damn insane. So, yeah, there's a lot for Q1. Not ideal. I think I could have got through on a perfect lap. I think there was a bit more pace in it. Like I said, I think the first sector was a bit poor. We dropped about half a tenth and then a bit wide again through that double right-hander. So if we correct those errors, we might just have got through, but it would have been really close. Either way, Paul Ricard qualifies us in his home Grand Prix. But we're now going to move into the race and try and turn this one around.
Hello and welcome from the circuit Paul Ricard, current home of the French Grand Prix, an event dating all the way back to 1906. Now, it's been held at many venues over the years, with famous moments from Dijon and Manicourt the feature of many a highlights reel. So let's hope we see more of those in the race today. A lap of Paul Ricard then consists of 15 corners and a total length of around 3.6 miles. Drivers will need to position their cars carefully on the exit of the flat-out turn 10, ready for the double apex right-hander at 11. Watch out for potential overtaking action at the end of the start-finish straight and into the heavy braking zone of turn 8. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Max Verstappen and Norris, Perez, Ricciardo, Ocon and Guan Yu Zhou, Mick Schumacher, Russell, Pierre Gasly and Magnussen, Tsunoda, Vettel, Théo Pourchaire and Alex Albon, Martinez, Latifi, Stroll and Jack Aitken. And now it's time to head down to the track.
It's time for the French Grand Prix, starting from P19 on the grid. Feeling optimistic about this one. I feel like if we can have a decent start and a decent first lap, move up to P16, 17 maybe, that already puts us in a decent position, and then hopefully from there it should be a positive race. I feel like I could have got Q2 in qualifying had I just cleaned the lap up a little bit. Race pace, as you guys know, is always a lot stronger. So, yeah, starting the race on the medium and then looking to go to the hard tyre. I was tempted to go hard and then to the soft, but the soft does overheat a little bit, and I'd rather avoid that if I can. So we're going to go for the medium first, try and be a bit aggressive, get some places up, and then put the hard tyre on. And the good thing is we won't have any tyre issues or tyre temp issues. Fuel-wise, I'm going to go for about 1.2 laps extra. That should be okay. I've been having fuel saving issues. This is the last race with our current fuel saving, as we have an upgrade on the way for the next race. But yeah, let's jump into it and let's see how this goes. Well, here we go then. Let's get ready for the race start. Hopefully you're excited. Leave a like if you are, and in the comments, haven't done it in a while, but let's hear some predictions and then edit the comment at the end of the race and see if you are right or wrong. Tyre temp not super high, but should still be okay as we line her up. We're going to try and get as close as we can. There we go, 0.4. Let's get into it. I'm looking forward to this one. Lights are on. Not the best getaway. Definitely not the best getaway. My god, that was actually a pretty strong start from the AI, really. Mine wasn't that bad. I didn't get any wheel spin. A little bit slow to get full power down, but it was a relatively clean start. But the AI just all got away really well for a change. Still, we can still fight back it. Not the end of the world. This is going to get ugly through here, so we might get a chance. Around the outside. Inside now through here as we try to recover those lost places. There you go, back to P18 now, and we've actually already gained a place compared to where we started. Let's see what the straight line speed is like. Here comes Aitken in the Alpha pushing through. Don't really have an answer, as actually, sorry, Albon coming through, not Aitken. Around the outside, we're going to go nice and deep into the chicane, and then try to get a nice clean exit out of there. Not over yet, Albon back for seconds. As we're going to go side by side into Senior. Who's going to blink first? There we go, Albon backs out. And now we can drive into this third sector and try to make some progress as Pourchaire, I think, may have wing damage from contact with Tsunoda there. It definitely touched. As we head into the final few corners now. Very important that we don't lose contact with the lead group as Albon comes back for more again here, using a lot of battery to try and get this move done. We're going to just hold the inside line through the final corner and stay in front. And that's going to put now Albon under pressure from Latifi as lap 1 draws to a close. Let's see if Pourchaire slows through here, the first two corners. That will be a signal that he does have damage. Looks okay to me. But let's try and make some more progress. Right, the AI should start to turn their engines down now. They usually use up a big chunk of their battery in the first 2 laps. And then once DRS gets enabled, they kind of, you know, calm things down a bit. I feel like I'm starting to get the edge on Paul Ricard now already. She's out of DRS range of Tsunoda, so that's not ideal. We want to try and stick with the pack.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
We're going to try and line them up for the overtake here on the back straight. Let's get nice and close. And we'll try and slingshot onto Tsunoda. Definitely got much more downforce, some wings, so we're quicker through the corners. Lacking a bit of straight line speed, but that's okay. Got to be careful with the ERS as well. When you've got more downforce, it's harder to recharge battery. Here we go then, onto the Mistral straight. We're going to try to get Paul Ricard. To be fair, he's had a pretty damn good exit. And I'm not really gaining that much, so I'm not going to use up all my battery charge on our teammate. I'm not going to try and dive bomb him or anything like that. Getting very close through there. Oh god, that's a big error. That's not going to help. That might just stop me from overtaking Paul Ricard now. Hang about. Actually, we're closing up through here a little bit. Whoa, that's close. Putting big pressure on now. Gotta go for it. A bit of contact there as Paul Ricard tried to turn in, warning for track limits. But we've got the job done and we're through. Let's see if I have any pace to kind of pull away now. Tyres getting a little bit hot in the rear, got to be careful. Pace is good though, we're pulling away from Paul Ricard. We've already dropped him out of the RS range. Green flag. Yellow flag now.
Yellow flag.
Someone's had an issue, let's see. It's Verstappen. Oh, that's a big one. Max Verstappen engine blow up as we set a personal best, 32.8. Good pace, but I'm not catching the cars ahead because we're bleeding time on the straights. I'd like a safety car to be honest, or a VSC just to recharge my battery. Second warning for track limits, gotta be careful now. Pushing a bit too much. We've been in trouble around here before, hopefully we don't have issues again. Tsunoda, Magnussen battling. I'm trying to see if I can close in. One of the cars has got broken away from this scrap just up the road. Not quite able to get within DRS range. I was hoping to hold on there, but didn't quite happen. But this battle is going to continue, so this is going to bring us into play now. Might bring Albon into play as well, who's got past Paul Ricard. I wonder if Toe does have slight damage, because he's dropping off the pace a little bit now, struggling for pace. Either way, let's try and stick with these two here. Running out of battery though, which is not good. I need to get DRS. Right, this lap we're definitely going to have DRS. And I'm not going to try and pass and anything, I'm just going to try and stay close. I've got the pace in the corners, so this is just going to help me basically keep up on the straights a bit. But we need to try and get some battery recharge ready for when the pit stop phase arrives. There's another big train of cars up ahead, so if they start battling, this ain't over yet. The race is still wide open. I've just got to try and get some battery back on charge because that's going to be very important, I think, in the second part of the race. So Albon has now joined the party. In the meantime, I'm still just trying to recharge. I don't think the pace is there today. Not just from us, but also all of us in the lower half of the midfield. Tsunoda, Magnussen aren't really fast enough to drag us towards points. We're going to be relying on maybe some two-stoppers or a safety car or something happening to blow this race wide open. In the meantime, I've got to start using battery now because Albon's getting a bit cheeky and fancies a move. Other than that, though, we're looking pretty decent. As actually Tsunoda makes a mistake, and that's going to be a bit of a dangerous rejoin, and Magnussen goes back through. This might be an opportunity for us now, actually. If I can pass Tsunoda here, that might be a blessing, as I know I'm definitely faster than Magnussen, so I might be able to actually get P14, pull away and drop these guys. So we'll have a look and see what we can do. Albon looking for the move, getting cheeky. We're going to just close the door on him a little bit there. Left just enough room. Tsunoda's just going to nick the DRS off Magnussen, I think. However, what we can do is go up the inside at the final corner and make that move. Right, let's close in on K-Mag here and get within a second. Magnussen's got some good pace. I'm I'm not able to keep up at the minute. Literally identical on this past lap. R1 meanwhile has got past Sonoda. Hopefully those two battle away, but we've actually dropped out DRS range compared to a lap ago. So Magnussen, I'm going to have to use a bit of battery here to close back in. Oh, there we go, this time we've got it. We can go back to recharging the battery a little bit, and then when I'm ready, we'll go for the pass. Now once again, fuel is a bit of a concern. We're burning through it a bit quicker than I'd like. Still 0.5 left, but we started with 1.2, so that's more than what we're going to burn to get to the end. So we need to save. Obviously there's a pit stop arriving soon, which will help, but it's still going to require some fuel saving at some point. This is our scheduled pit stop lap, and I think I'm going to probably pit and just play it safe, to be honest with you. We might be able to undercut Magnussen, let's see. Wait, what? No, that's a BS penalty. Hang on a minute. I mean, I sped into the pits because I was put off by this thing. There's no way I've been penalised for this, for track limits. I'm on 2 warnings, and they've done me for this. Are you kidding? I'm going to try again. I'm going to take a bit slower and see what happens, but this might ruin our undercut attempt. Take it very slow. Nope. Okay, so the game's just going to screw me over like that. Great. Well, this is fantastic. And we're going to have to serve in the pit stop as well, so... Oh, well, let's just do it. Let's just commit and see what happens. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so taking a wider line seems to be the trick. So bear that in mind, guys. If that happens to you, try and stay as wide as you can, and that will probably avoid the corner cutting penalty. So, result. Anyway, hard task going on. Happy with the balance. I'm not going to change the wing, so let's hopefully have a nice clean stop. No delays. That would be ideal. 2.5, please. 2.4. Lovely. Right, back on the way then. Hard tires. Let's try and scrub these up, get them up to temperature.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Grip's going to be horrible, but we'll try and push from the get-go here and see if we can get an undercut on Magnussen. So Paul Ricard's in the pits along with the remaining cars yet to stop. Very important sector of the race now because tyres are up to temperature. Have we done enough to undercut Magnussen? I don't think we have, but we're going to have a massive advantage on tyre temp. There is Magnussen right now on the pit exit, so the gap will be about the same, but we'll have the advantage of nice warm tyres. Let's get after him then. We're not going to be able to drop him though, I don't think. We might pass him. That's going to be it. You can see how much more grip we have. Latifi, by the way, has gained a lot in that pit stop phase. He's only 2.4 seconds behind us now, so Nicholas Latifi gaining a lot. The big winner in that, getting ahead of Albon. Here we go then. I'm going to try and get past Magnussen, but again, we know our straight line speed's absolutely terrible. Using the battery to try and close in. Not really close enough there to go for the move. We'll use the warm tyres again, come on. Let's try and have another go. This is using all my battery, but I want to try and get ahead if I can. Through Senior, up the inside we go. Bit of understeer, but we're through. Let's see if we have the pace to drop him. That would be nice. And then really that's the best we can hope for, P14, unless someone else were to retire or a safety car came out or something. Right, let's crack on with this. Let's see what we can do. Oh, actually, Sebastian Vettel in the pits, although he was nowhere near us. So it's not going to be a place for us to gain. Personal best, 32.0.
Currently the fastest lap is at 1 minute 31.3.
Not too bad, 7/10 off, but we did have DRS and it still didn't really make a difference. Magnussen now following us along here, so this isn't over yet. Bit of a snap through there, that wasn't the best exit, that's going to put us under pressure now. I don't really have any battery and I need to try and save fuel, so I'm actually going to let Magnussen go back past here. We're just going to sit behind and wait, recharge, manage fuel a little bit, so it's going to be boring, but we've got to do it, and then hopefully towards the end of the race we can fight back. This will also allow me to save tyres a little bit. Yellow flag behind. I think it might be Lance Stroll.
Okay, clear.
Will that trigger anything? The answer looks to be no. Bit of a shame then, that might have been the chance. We could have boxed with a set of soft tyres and gambled. In the meantime, just a brief update. Fuel saving is going well. We're not burning anymore. We're not saving, but we're not burning. So I'm just using a touch of ERS to stay with Magnussen. But 1 or 2 more laps, and then if the fuel stays the same at 0.4, then we should be good to push until the end. Probably lap 21 is when we're going to be safe with this. So just a touch more lift and coast fuel saving, just to maintain what we have, and then we can push and probably finish the race with nothing. Magnussen's pace is genuinely very strong. I can't really complain too much. He's doing a great job of putting me along. I'm still burning fuel even though I'm trying to fuel save like crazy. I'm lifting and coasting. I might just prolong by 1 or 2 more laps just to be safe. I've got a decent amount of battery. So yeah, I'm going to be pushing rather with fuel rather than trying to push too much ERS. And then obviously once we pass him, I want to try and drop him out of the ERS range. So I want to be sure that this is going to be a convincing move. So just a little bit longer and we'll be ready to go. Right, we're closing in on K-Mag. Let's see if I can have a stab at this on this lap. Personal best first sector. Magnussen gets a bit loose out of there. That might just be the invitation we need. Come on, come on. Go, go, go. Force him defensive. We're going to try and go the long way around, which gives us the inside. We'll run him out of road. And now we're going to just keep using the battery. Cheers, Elvis. We're going to keep using the battery here to try and pull away a little bit. Right, Magnussen out of the RS range then. As we just run out of battery, let's try and keep pushing here for the rest of this lap. It looks like we'll just nick a personal best and dip into the 31s. 2 laps to go. Let's keep it going this way and hopefully bring it home. And there we go then. Hamilton wins the French Grand Prix. Big result. Alonso fastest lap for Alpine. Meanwhile, Magnussen using up all the battery juice, as the straight line speed's pretty damn ridiculous when the AI choose to turn their engines up, but we're playing it safe now. We've done what we had to do. We've got the move done. Just staying out of trouble, not getting that 3rd warning. And here we go then, making our way through the final few corners. Very clean race, very consistent race. Very happy with my race pace, you know. Overall, I was very, very smooth with it, but the car just wasn't there today. And Pourchaire's pace also confirming that. But there we go, P14 here today.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Some great battles around Paul Ricard today, and they've taken a fantastic win. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their head when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that has allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy and stay out of trouble.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take the top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
Right then, job done for us here today in Paul Ricard. No points to show for it, but still a decent race, a decent recovery. P19 to P14, played the strategy beautifully. Good start, good race pace, good race IQ, done the overtakes when we had to. And yeah, here is your final order. So Hamilton wins ahead of Alonso in a very impressive 2nd place with a fastest lap. So the Alpine going very well at their home race. Sainz P3 ahead of Leclerc. Surprise Friday, maybe swap that round for the championship. Ocon P5 in the 2nd Alpine. So both of them in the top 5, which is bad news, of course, for us in the constructors, not ideal. Perez, Norris, Schumacher in the points as well, bad news, and Zhou and Ricciardo rounding out the top 10. Missing out on the points, crucially, Pierre Gasly, also George Russell and Sebastian Vettel, which is great news for us. We finish in 14th ahead of Magnussen, Albon, Latifi, Tsunoda, Aitken, Paul Chair down in P20, and last of the runners of Stroll and Verstappen out the race. Standings, P9, we lose 2 places to Perez and Ocon, I believe, respectively, as the Alpines move up. Hamilton retakes the championship lead, 2 points clear of Charles Leclerc heading into the season break, and also Sainz is 2 points behind us now with that podium finish. Constructors, 7th still, Alpine now long gone, Haas do pull away by a couple of points in P6. Crucially though, we've still got a healthy lead over AlphaTauri of, I believe, 26 points, so that's good to see. Anyway, let's jump into upgrades. Now then, let's take care of some activities, and we're going to go for reaction training before the next race, which is the Hungarian Grand Prix. So the season break must be after Hungary? I don't even know anymore. I get confused. I think it is after Hungary actually, so it's my bad. So one more race to go for. Either way, 2,200 R&D points to spend. We've got power circuits coming up soon, but we can't do power upgrades, so we need facility spec 2, which is a bit of a surprise. I might go for another ERS upgrade possibly. Let me see what other options I have available to me in other areas first. We've got an 8% discount on weight redistribution on the chassis, which is not bad actually. After that, nothing else available. What about the aero? Slot gap, not really that keen. Front wing adjuster bracket, it's a minor upgrade, 1200 points. Halo for rear downforce. Let's do a bit of front downforce. You can see we've only got 3 on the car. We're lacking a bit in this area, so we're going to go ahead and get that on the car. And do I have enough to squeeze the rotor speed on there? No, I don't. I'm lacking just about enough points to make that work, so we'll hand back for now and save those 1,000 points. We do have the heat dispersing wheel rims arriving for the Hungarian Grand Prix, so that's going to help our tyre wear, which is great because it's a crucial race for tyre wear, the Hungarian Grand Prix, so it might just change our strategy. And as you can see, it's good news. The upgrade has arrived, it hasn't failed, and it's unlocked 2 further upgrades, which is really good. So yeah, we've got the plank, the fuel tank positioning, and then of course we have the tyre blanket. So yeah, we'll leave it there for that one. The next race is Hungary, we'll take care of that, and then after that it should be a season break. Either way, I'm looking forward to it. I think this should be a better track for us. Straight line speed won't be an issue, so we can just crank up and load on the downforce and just give it loads of wing and see how it goes. Either way, leave a like if you enjoyed today's race. It wasn't a classic, but still, let's try and support the series. Subscribe for more daily F1 content on my channels. I'm on the road to 100,000 subs by the end of the year. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, check out the 2 videos on screen. And yeah, until then, take care. And it's goodbye from me.